So this is the upside of being in a small-time band. After that one, I think we need it. And this has happened to every band I've ever come across, which is sometimes people just like you. And it doesn't make sense why a band would have a special night when they're just an average band or a band that's mediocre. But people, whatever they're drinking that night, or the way the moon is, and the tide, people think they're geniuses. Or, and this has happened many times to me, where a rich drunk guy just starts putting money in your pocket to keep playing. And it makes no sense at all, and you know they're going to wake up tomorrow going, what the hell, why did I lose $300? And you're like, because you gave it to that mediocre band playing last night when you thought you were, you know. So I'm going to just read you about that. This is a song that Al wrote when he was 24. It's called The Dice in Me. I lost jobs when I was a kid. I'd get pissed off and that'd be it. I spent my time drifting around. Nothing came through until I hit that Vegas town. I had a sleeping bag in an alleyway. All day long I'd roll the dice and work on my game. The dice of me, the dice of me. You better watch out for the dice of me. The lights of the city were no friends of mine, but the lights of the casino treated me more than kind. I ended up living in a hotel suite with a cocktail waitress named Darlene. We'd be up all night and we'd sleep all day. The money rolled in and I made plans to stay. The dice of me, the dice of me, you better watch out for the dice of me. But a gambler's life is holding a grenade. It's a tightrope act with a suicide weight. My Darlene, she was on the grift. Stole my 30 grand and gave me the slip. And the dice ran cold because the dice could see I was shaking from booze and my heart was ailing me. If I had any advice, this is what it'd be. Cut out your heart so the dice can't see. He'd written the song when he was 24, the lyrics scribbled in a notebook while sitting in the bathtub. The heart of the music, the style came from the Buck Owens song, I Got a Tiger by the Tail. 2 days after he finished it, he played a pickup gig in Winnemucca at a Basque restaurant and bar called the Winnemucca Hotel. The band, the Barbed Water Boys, were 4 guys in their 40s with straight jobs, part-time musicians who did nothing but covers. But a week before their Friday night gig in Winnemucca and their Saturday night in Elko, their lead guitar player, who sang half the songs, broke his collarbone in a motorcycle accident. Their drummer, who had played for a time with Mona Maverick, gave Al a call to fill in, and Al took the gig. The majority of the songs he knew, and on the ones he didn't, he held back. The band got through the first set, but by the end of the second, they knew they were running low on tunes that the remaining singer knew the lyrics to. By the third set, his voice began to give out. They asked Al if he had any songs he could sing. He told them he'd just written one called The Dice in Me, and told the guys the chords, gave the drum the tempo, and they tried it out. The Winnemucca Hotel and Bar was a small rectangle room, and the 4-piece band was crammed into the corner on a 2-foot-high plywood stage. It was July, and there was no air conditioning, and the place was packed with nearly 100 people. But it was one of those nights that a band sometimes stumbles upon. It doesn't matter if they're a good band or a bad band, but a night when they can do no wrong. A night when, for whatever reason, the audience loves them. Al sang The Dice of Me, and his thin voice was clear and loud through the PA. The band stumbled through the changes, watching Al's fingers as he played, and by the end, a strange thing happened. The place went crazy with applause. In front of the stage stood a small man in khaki shorts and a red polyester collared shirt. "God damn," he yelled over the din of the bar. He was bald and had no eyebrows and no hair on his arms or face. His teeth were small and yellow. He had a nose that had been broken, freckled skin, and glassed over eyes. He waved Al over. "Hey, come here, bud." Al stepped between the monitors and leaned down. "I'll give you $100 if you play that song again." Al laughed and shook his head. "I'm serious." The bald man took a $100 bill from a roll of money and waved it around. The guys in the band nodded, and Al got back on the mic. "This man wants to hear that last song again. It's a new one for us. Would you mind if we tried that out one more time?" The place cheered, so Al counted it off. The band played it better that time, and the bald man stayed in front and tried to sing along. He had a bottle of beer in his hand and another in his back pocket. When they finished, the place again went crazy, and the bald man jumped on stage. He pulled out his roll of money, and this time took $200 bills from it. "You gotta play that song one more time," he yelled. "Don't give us any more money," Al told him. "You'll be in a mess of shit tomorrow when you realize what you've done." "I ain't drunk and I got money," he said, and put the bills in Al's suit coat pocket. "Money talks and bullshit walks. Play it one more time." Al shook his head. The man turned to the bar of people, and he said into Al's mic, "That last song, that song is my song. I swear to God it was written for me. But these boys won't play it again, and I need to hear it. Please, just one more time." After that, he began yelling into the mic, "One more time, one more time, one more time." Soon the entire room of people in that dilapidated bar screamed, "One more time." The bald man jumped off stage, and the band played it again. When they finished at that time, the bald man went to the bar and came back with a bottle of Jameson's, 4 beers, and set them on the stage while the band ran through Hank Cochran's Life of a Rodeo Cowboy. The set ended, the bartender started the jukebox, and Al went outside. The summer night was breezy and warm, and he could see Main Street and the colored lights of Winter's Casino and the semi-trucks and cars passing through town. He sat on the sidewalk, and the sounds of music and people talking and laughing drifted from inside. He nursed a beer and cooled down, and the bald man came out to him, lit a cigarette, and said, "You don't know how much that song meant to me. Did you write it?" Al said, "Yes." "You got it recorded?" "Nah." "You going to?" "I don't know." "Well, I'm a professional gambler. I make my living betting sports, but I live for the dice. I live for the table. That song really hit me." "Thanks," Al said. "And everyone in the band thanks you. You from around here?" "I'm from everywhere and nowhere," the man said and smiled. "I'm what you call a mover. I'm always moving, always on the road. But that's the way I like it." He took the roll of money from his pocket, counted out 10 $100 bills, and dropped them on the pavement in front of Al. You'll probably be playing these dumps for your entire life. That's hard work, and you wrote a hell of a song. Hopefully these greenbacks help you out." Al looked at the bills. "I can't take that." "You'll take it. Money ain't nothing to me. Thanks again for the tune," he said, and walked away. The next morning, Al woke up at the Scott Shady Court Motel. It was dawn, and he had his own room. He lay in bed playing the Telecaster and working on a song called Mr. Luck and Miss Doom. At 8, he walked to the Griddle restaurant for breakfast. He was dressed in a black suit with a crisp new gray and black pinstripe Western shirt underneath, shiny black boots, and his hair slicked back with pomade. He wasn't hungover, his nerves were good, and he had over $1,000 in his pocket. In a booth that looked out over Main Street, he ate breakfast. The waitress, a young blonde, flirted with him and even gave him a free orange juice. The sun hadn't yet risen over the town, and the morning was still cool when he left. The band was driving to Elko at noon, and he hoped he could see an afternoon matinee before the gig started. He passed the street of his motel and kept walking. Across the road was Winter's Casino, and it was there that he saw the bald-headed man with no eyebrows and a green polyester shirt and black shorts walking with a young boy dressed exactly the same. They were holding hands, and Al guessed they were heading to the Griddle for breakfast. He waved from across the 4-lane road, but semi-trucks and cars got in the way, and the man and the boy didn't see him and just kept walking.
Wow.
Well, thank you. That was nice of you. So the song he was working on, it's called Mr. Luck and Miss Doom. After I wrote that title, I go, man, I want to write that song. And so the lines, the band I'm in now, we have a record coming out next on February 14th, and it's called Mr. Luck and Miss Doom, and this is the song. The singer in the band, she's not as dark-minded as me, and sometimes she grabs you. I always say the same thing, but it's true. She grabs you like your aunt, if your aunt catches you raiding her liquor cabinet, your aunt does it in a different way than your mom. Your aunt might grab you and go, "What the hell are you doing, man? Don't do that." Where your mom would like punch you. So she grabs me like an aunt and she says, "If you write one more song where somebody dies, I'm gonna kill you. Can you just write me a love song? I just want a straight up love song. So this is as good as I can get that way." Miss Doom was half living in her car, cleaning houses in St. Augustine, Florida. Mr. Lucky just gotten on a bus he'd done 4 years. First crime, first bust. That's how his name stuck. Now Miss Doom was getting yelled at by her boss outside a mansion that overlooks the bay and the cross. Mr. Luck is thinking who he could call just to stay a week till he can get himself back on his feet. Mr. Luck and Miss Doom, they never check out before noon, and they always get out before it falls through. Mr. Luck, he got off that bus next to the ocean in St. Augustine, Florida. Miss Doom was just walking down the street, and they got to talking, and they swept each other off their feet. Mr. Luck and Miss Doom, well, she never falls off the world because it's him she's holding on to. And their clothes are always thrown all over the room, and he saves her from her self-inflicted ruin. And she holds their money, and she makes the rules. On they wear out every mattress in every room, and they always get out before it falls.